There's a new Economist YouGov poll out on conspiracies, and there's an unbelievable fact about Trump voters that I have to share with you guys. So, what percentage of them believe, quote, leaked emails from the Clinton camp talked about pedophilia and human trafficking in Pizzagate? So I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but for those of you who don't follow these things closely, basically what that is a ridiculous conspiracy that Hillary Clinton is running a child pedophilia ring out of a Washington, D.C. pizza place. I'm not kidding. And this became a big story because there was a guy who believed it when he read it on the internet, and he went in there with a loaded gun and almost killed people. Hillary Clinton running a child sex ring out of a pizza place. Everybody knows I'm no fan of Hillary Clinton. In fact, I despise Hillary Clinton, and I've done countless segments on that. Here's what I know. She's not running a child sex ring out of a DC pizza place. How does anybody believe that? It's amazing to me that people believe that. But, so what percentage of Trump voters believe this? 46%. Almost half of Trump voters say, yes, I think that Hillary Clinton is running a child sex ring out of a DC pizza place. All right, you do realize, I don't even know why I bother, but I'm going to go ahead and lay it out there anyway, because I guess it's what I do. But you do realize that the police department looked into it. This was such a prominent story online that this place was getting repeated death threats. They would call this pizza place and do death threats. And the people working there are like, what the fuck? What? Human trafficking? Pedophilia? What are you saying? So the cops, they obviously looked into it. They wound up having to protect these people because of lunatics that believed it that went there with loaded guns. But yeah, of course, they were like, "What? No, of course not. No, there's no fucking child sex ring going on at this random DC pizza place." So I don't know why I'm bothering to debunk this and why I'm bothering to give you these basic facts, but I'm giving them nonetheless because apparently anything and everything is a conspiracy to some people. You know, and this is the Alex Jones InfoWars crowd that we often laugh at, but it can at times be kind of dangerous. Alex Jones, about 2.5 minutes after Carrie Fisher died, he was speculating that it was murder. He still thinks Sandy Hook is a conspiracy. Alex, is there anything that's not a conspiracy? Everything ever is a conspiracy. And then even when, like, the basic motive of the arguments falls apart, it doesn't matter. He just keeps running with it's a conspiracy. But if there's no motive, then what are you talking about? How's it a conspiracy? There's not. So what was the end goal? There was no end goal. They just did it for shits and giggles. Like, the argument was, obviously that they're doing Sandy Hook because they want to come take all the guns. President Obama's got like 7.5 minutes left in office. He hasn't taken the guns. So what? They staged it, this giant elaborate thing. And of course he says nobody died, all crisis actors. And some of the parents are fucking livid about this because they've been harassed. So they staged all of it. And what? They're not going to carry it out to the conclusion? The conclusion of we're going to take all the guns. That's what he says. That's not what I say. That's what he says. They staged it to take the guns. But they didn't take the guns, Alex. What about the FEMA camps? Obama was going to come, they're going to put us in FEMA camps. Well, they haven't. When he leaves office and you and me and everybody we know are not in FEMA camps, will you come out and say, hey, you know what, y'all, I was wrong on that one? Will you say that? Basic logic, basic, accountability? Will you say that? Hey, I was wrong. I said we were going to be put in FEMA camps. We weren't put in FEMA camps. No, you're not going to say it because you're a fucking hack. That's what you are. You're a hack. Doesn't matter. You can be proven wrong, just factually incorrect for everybody to see. This jackass thinks Obama is a literal demon. He says he smells like sulfur. Everybody around him says it. So, look, what am I going to say? There's a fly that lands on him when he gives speeches sometimes, and he smells like sulfur. Case closed, I think. This kind of thinking, and nearly half of Trump voters go, yep, I see what you're talking about there. Hillary Clinton leading a child sex ring sounds legit. nearly half of Trump voters. Now, hold your horses just a little bit here, because this isn't a sheerly partisan rant of, oh, look at those stupid right-wingers, because the Democrats have their own conspiracies that we're going to come back to and we're going to do in a separate segment here. But just to continue for a second with this group of people, 62% of Trump voters say millions of illegals voted for Hillary Clinton. There's absolutely, positively no evidence of that. In fact, you know what the evidence is? Memes. There was a meme of pictures of buses, and it says illegals being bussed in to vote for Democrats or vote for Hillary Clinton or whatever. It was just a picture of buses. People look at that, they go, case closed, man. It says it online. I done seen it. It says millions of illegals voted for Hillary. That's not true. That's nowhere near true. Like, why? Why even bother? You're idiot fucking leader won anyway. But, oh no, they feel bad about, Hillary winning the popular vote by over 2.5 million, so they got to come up with some bullshit for that. So millions of illegals voted for Hillary. That's just not accurate. That's made up. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. 36% of Americans say Obama was born in Kenya. That's a little over 50% of Trump voters. Yeah. The media needs to do a better job. Some people are going to say, oh, it's lazy to just blame the media on this because, as Ron White says, the great noted scholar Ron White, you can't fix stupid. Yes, there's going to be a certain percentage of the population that are going to be Looney Tunes no matter what, and they're going to hold on to just empirically false beliefs, objectively wrong. So, yes, there are going to be those people. But we can chip away at these numbers. When 36% of the American people say Obama was born in Kenya, a little over 50% of Trump voters, well, that's just, you can fix that number. When 62% say millions of illegals voted for Hillary, you can fix that number. That's a matter of, hey, mainstream media, get your shit together, do stories that debunk all this nonsense, and be unapologetic about it, and go straight for the jugular. Because you can educate people in a way where, yes, if you repeat things enough, they become duh. So if you repeat enough, that's the dumbest thing ever. Oh, really? Fucking millions of illegals voted for Hillary? Give me any evidence. There is no evidence. So, and then you debunk it. You go through all the whatever bullshit arguments they came up with in the memes and whatever fucking garbage InfoWars is spewing. You debunk it. You go point by point, and then you go, okay, so that's that. And then you repeat that over and over. And then eventually you go, okay, you educate people that way. Yes, a small percentage are still going to hold on to their nonsense beliefs, but that's not, it won't be this high. The numbers won't be this high. So, yes, this is really sad. And not for nothing here, but remember when Hillary made the comment about deplorables and she got a lot of shit? If you remember, the segment I did, I had been just ripping Hillary for a million things at the time because there were a million things to legitimately rip her on and say, you're just wrong about this, this, and this, and you're just corrupt and you're just too hawkish. But what did I say when she made the deplorable comment? I said, hold on, no, look at the full context. Because she didn't just say, Trump voters are deplorable. Stop. Full stop. No, she said, much more nuanced than that, a rare time where she was very nuanced. And she said, look, I don't know the exact numbers, but about half of them are genuinely hurting and left behind by this terrible system that we've set up, and with the the economy rigged against them. Now, I get it. Hillary Clinton talking about that is funny because she's part of the people who rigged the system against them. I got that. But her comments were, hey, half of them it's not their fault. They're victims. And then she said the other half of them, yeah, they're the basket of deplorables where they're just racist, sexist, bigoted, and they're not voting for Trump despite the bigoted shit he says. They're voting for him as a result of that. So they see that and they go, that's the reason I'm voting for him. They don't even care about the populist angle of him. Well, what number did we get here in this poll? Now, I do think these crowds overlap, might I add. 46% believe that Hillary Clinton was running a pedophilia, human trafficking, child sex ring out of a pizza place. I wonder if that 46% is the same 46% that one would call deplorable. where they're not in former depressed factory towns where their jobs were shipped to Mexico or China or Turkey, and they just need a shot. They just need a hand up. They just need a system that looks out for them and gives them a factory job. I wonder if these are those people. Those are not those people. Those are the people who voted for Obama and then flipped to Trump. These are people we're talking about who, yes, are deplorable. So let's be clear about that. There's a certain percentage that are going to be deplorable and are going to be too far gone and are going to be bigoted and are not victims. I'd say probably the majority are victims and are left behind by a system, and they turn out of desperation to the candidate who seemingly wants more change, Trump. But let's not give them a total pass, because the response that came from the Hillary deplorable comment was, oh, she's saying all Trump voters are deplorable and they're just bad people. That's not what she said. It was much more nuanced than that. And when you see numbers like this, like over 50% of Trump voters say Obama's born in Kenya, they say, also, by the way, about 50% say he's Muslim and Hillary runs a child sex ring. Yes, if those aren't deplorable beliefs, I don't know what is. And people who are willing to grasp onto that, it strikes me that there's something a little deeper going on than economic anxiety. So, not for nothing, but numbers like this show there's a certain percentage of that group that is too far gone, and to portray them as victims who are left behind is just not a sufficient explanation.